Welcome back. This episode will be dedicated to the case, this battered case with paint peeling off all kinds of unoriginal holes, as you can see there for those three switches. It doesn't sit flat on the bench. It's all twisted and banged up, as you can see there. On the side, it's also all banged up, and there are more holes there for those connectors that are totally unoriginal. I have to straighten it all back, remove all of those connectors, close those holes, and respray this case. Those cracks, that little crack you see there, has to be fixed as well. And it's not only the front side with those extra switches and holes that are unoriginal, even at the back, there's this banged up plate that the previous owner put a hole in there for a redundant volume control potentiometer. I need to straighten all of that, close all of that stuff, and bring it back to original condition. After removing the connectors, these are the holes that are left behind. They have very rough edges. Overall, bad job done. That's a close-up of that little crack that needs to be re-glued because that part is made of plastic. I need to bang this back into a straight shape with the proper angles. Also the plate at the back. So this is how the case looks like after I stripped the computer. I have the material I need. So let's start with the restoration by removing that little badge. I cannot respray that badge because it has, the Sharp symbol, and then I can't redo that completely from scratch. So I'm removing this. I'm going to close the holes on the badge separately, and then I will respray the rest. What you see left back there needs to be cleaned, reprimed and resprayed. And my girlfriend gets going on the badge in the meantime. She's a painter, an artist, so she's color matching the original paint after we closed the holes. We didn't sand those holes too well. We were afraid, because this is a very thin metal, we were afraid we might do something not recoverable. So there are some edges there that we will hide away by putting lacquer on top at the end. But my girlfriend's color matching skills came to the rescue here. So that was good. And then I proceed to use my Dremel and remove the paint all around the holes and smoothen out the edges of the holes. So they don't cut people's fingers anymore. The two largest holes I reinforced with a metal grating, as you see there. They were too large to cover just with epoxy. I'm going to use steel reinforced epoxy putty. They call it steel reinforced. I mean, steel is an alloy. I suppose they have, they mixed in steel powder on the epoxy. So that's the epoxy. It's called the steel stick. I'm not using it because it's claimed to be steel reinforced, and I don't know whether that means anything. I am using this one because it adheres very well to metal. The epoxy takes on metal very, very well. That's the reason I'm doing this, using this one. It's a JB Weld thing. And after you mix it, you have to press it against the bare metal that I've just exposed and press it through the holes of the little metal grating that I used for reinforcement. And you don't have much time to do this, it dries within a couple of minutes. So you have to do it quickly and press it in as fast as possible. On the other side, to avoid the putty from squirting out from the other side, I use this thick aluminum tape on the other side. And once it's dried and you remove the tape, that's what you get. This needs another application of putty from this side to smoothen it out and give some extra material to sand and make sure everything is regular. But that's what you get after a couple of hours curing. And then I repeat the operation with less material, but from this side I put some more steel epoxy putty. And it gives you some more room for maneuver. It gives you material to sand away in order to make sure that the side of the case or this surface is flat and flush. And again, you have to work more or less fast because it does dry and cure within 5 minutes or so, loses malleability. And then after it's dried and sanded, this is what you get. You get a straight, smooth surface that can be primed. I primed it and brought it to professional painters. And that's the final result in their workshop after professional spraying or respraying of the different elements of the case. They did a pretty good job. You cannot see where there were unoriginal holes. I've now run out of pre-recorded footage, so from this point on this restoration is in real time. Next time I think I will retest the PSU under load to make sure that the noise is okay and that nothing will blow under real load. And I have to retest the memories, so I think these are the two things I will tackle next time. Stay tuned for that. See you then.